What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Laughing Coyote, and I'm back with another This Week in Cricket. Not lots has happened. Well, there's really only been one international game, so that's what we're going to talk about. We've had another game as well. It's a sort of a warm-up sort of game between the Pakistanis. We'll talk a little bit about that as well, but mostly the third test between West Indies and England. And so, yeah. The way this series started was quite interesting. West Indies came in strong, very strong, defeated England in the first game at home. Very difficult to do, but they did it. They did it quite easily, actually. In the second game, England goes back to, they get back their captain. Joe Root comes in. Stuart Broad comes in quite easily. The best bowler England has at the moment, especially since Jimmy Anderson is not looking too good. He wasn't that great in the first game. He wasn't that great in the third one either. So he's a bit off, but Broad is on top. He's got 500 wickets in this game. But anyway, second test, then England makes a comeback, wins it, ties the series or levels the series. And then the third test is the decider, which just ended today. England wins that one as well, and wins it by a huge margin. Now, if you look at the last two tests, West Indies, they didn't even look like the same West Indies side that played the first one. Same thing goes with England. They didn't look like the same England side that played the first test either, because they looked a much better side, and for West Indies, obviously, they looked a much worse side. Now, I don't know if it was because England played well, or it's because the West Indians just didn't play well. Regardless, they've lost the series. England have won the series. But game number 3, though, let's talk about that. So, it started off with England batting first. Ollie Pope was the highest run scorer. Young player, exciting player. When I was watching him, he looked a bit like Ian Bell under the helmet, especially with the kind of stance he has. It's very similar to Ian Bell as well. So that was very nice. But he's obviously exciting. He's very young. He's very talented. Scored 91, I think? Yeah, something like that. 90 odd runs. And he had that 100 plus run partnership with Butler. Butler finally doing something worth mentioning. Gets a half ton as well. But yeah, Pope though. Yeah, he's good. He scored a lot of runs, but he was dropped a couple of times. There was an LBW decision that went against him, in favor of him as well. So he didn't look too comfortable, and then the way he got out, it was a top edge. He didn't look too comfortable, but he did score a lot of runs. He did stick it out there. He batted on 2 different days. He batted well with Josh Butler. Butler, like I said, he came back in form as well for this game, got a half ton. So that was good to see. So yeah, Pope, one for the future. I hope he does well. I hope he continues on doing well. But he does have to work on his game, though. Like I said, he was very uncomfortable. He got a bit more comfortable towards, once he crossed that 35-run mark, I would say. That 30 mark, before he got to his 30, he looked very uncomfortable. Like I said, he was dropped as well. He nicked it twice to the slips. The top edge with Chase, who dropped the catch. It was a very difficult catch. Obviously, you're not gonna. I wouldn't even consider that a catch, but still, he dropped it, and it wasn't a shot in control from Ollie Pope, basically. So yeah, he still has a lot of work to do, but he's got talent. There's clear talent there. The guy is gonna do well. I hope he does well. All the best to him. But then we move on to Broad, Stuart Broad. Now, before we get to his bowling, he batted first, and he scored a 50. He was a very aggressive batsman in that first innings. I like seeing that. He played a pretty good innings. Now, one thing I found funny is they keep selling Jofra Archer as an all-rounder, and they keep sending him in before Stuart Broad, but I've yet to see him do anything with the bat, so I don't understand on what basis they're saying he's an all-rounder, because so far he's been crap with the bat. To be honest, he hasn't been that great with the ball either, but he's been on and off. He's not been very consistent, which is all right, I guess. I guess it's just not the series really. He hasn't done. Yeah, he's been okay at best, in this series. Jofra Archer, that is. Not that great with the bat, but Stuart Broad was pretty good. Stuart Broad, then, speaking of Broad, with the ball, England scores a lot of runs. Then it's West Indies' time to bat. Broad comes in, gets 6 wickets. Yeah. Gets a lot of wickets, gets 6 wickets, gets very close to 500 wickets. On the next day, he comes in and he gets a couple more wickets. Then the day ends, and he's just 1 wicket away from 500, which was pretty much inevitable. He was gonna get it, but then he gets 4 wickets by the end of the second innings as well, totaling 10 wickets in the entire match. So he took 10 wickets in the entire match, crossed the 500 wickets mark. Like I said, I would say at the moment he is England's best bowler. Let's not forget about Chris Woakes, though. He did get a 5-er in the second innings as well. He got 5 in that. Jimmy Anderson, like I said at the start, has been a bit off, and I don't know. Maybe he's getting a bit too old. I don't know. But it's just been 2 games, so we cannot judge him, in 2 games when he's got such a lengthy career. So let's not be too harsh on him. But it could be that his time is up. It's time for him to hang up his shoes. But let's not jump ahead, though. Let's give him another chance and see how he does. And then after that, we can then decide whether Jimmy Anderson is no more, or he will continue producing those great outswingers that he has been doing over the years. I mean, he's such an amazing bowler, swing bowler. But yeah, Broad is certainly doing really well. I don't see him retiring anytime soon, that's for sure. Dowrich got injured, by the way, so that was another thing. I feel so bad for him. He looks... I don't exactly know how old he is, but when you look at his face, he looks like a 12-year-old, and so when he makes a mistake, because he's made a few mistakes in this series, I feel so bad for him because the camera's on him and everybody's looking at him, and it's like... I'm like, I want you to do well, but you're not that great. But, then he gets hit in the face with the ball and he has to go out. And another guy came in to keep the wickets. And, yeah, so I feel bad for him, really. But he looks young, so I think he is young. And so, therefore, he has a lot of time to improve. Like I said, he's made a couple of mistakes, not just in this test, but the first 2 tests as well. And that mistake was, that was brutal. He got hit in the face because of that mistake. So he has to work on his keeping skills a little bit. He's not doing that great at the moment. Joe Root finally got a few runs, finally proved why everybody says he is so good. Got a half ton. Rory Burns was pretty good, got 90. Rory Burns got 90. And yeah, it was a very good performance with the bat and the ball from England. They were just dominant throughout the game. Kemar Roach was good as well. I like him so much, man. He's lost his pace, obviously, but he's still able to produce swing, and I love that. That's why I don't want Jimmy to go. That's why, I'm still like, he's not doing that well. He's not taking wickets, but I don't want him to go because he's such a great swing bowler. And Roach is similar, but Roach is getting wickets, though. That's the only difference. So I love watching Roach. Again, thoroughly enjoyed his spell. For West Indies, Shea Hope looked very confident in that second innings. He was attacking, and he was middling it for pretty much the entire time he was out there. The only time he mistimed one or misjudged one was, the ball he got out on, which was a top edge, that was such a foolish shot. I mean, in a test game, he just threw his bat at it, didn't even think twice about it. I mean, yeah, I said I liked his aggressive approach, and I did, but there's a difference between being aggressive and just throwing your wicket away, and he kind of threw his wicket away at a time when West Indies needed him to stay out there and perhaps score like 100, even double 100, because they were chasing down about 400, 399, right? So about 400 runs. So they needed someone to play the big innings, and there was no one that showed up. England won by 269 runs, a huge margin So yeah, England's back in form. It's not looking good for Pakistan. Pakistan is next. Well, no, actually, it's Ireland then Pakistan, and yeah, it's not gonna be too good for Pakistan because Pakistan already is not that great of a test side, and then you're going up against England, who's in top form. Raheem the Dream failed, unsuccessful, not too great with the ball, not too great with the bat either. Just I wanted him to succeed. I think a lot of people do, but yeah, he was not successful, unfortunately. Now let's talk about the Pakistan warm-up match. Naseem Shah, the young pacer from Pakistan, he's very quick. He injured Imam Ul-Haq. Yeah, he hit him. He bowled a short delivery, tried to hook him away, and he got hit in the thumb, and so that's the end for Imam. Fawad Alam also got injured, but that was before that, and he got injured in training. In the warm-up match, I think it was as well. Now, Imam is a very talented batsman. I know a lot of you don't like him, and the reason why you don't like him is quite stupid, in my opinion. You guys don't like him because he's related to Enzam Ul-Haq. But that's just stupid because he's a really good batsman. He has scored a lot of runs. If you look at actually the highest amount of runs scored, the fastest player to get to 1,000 runs, I think, it's Fakhr Zaman. I think after Fakhr Zaman, it's Imam Ul-Haq. So, he's a really good batsman. I just don't understand why, he's related to Enzamam. So what? I don't understand that part. I mean, I get it. You're saying that he got in the team because he's related to Enzamam, Sefarish. That's why you're mad. But what I don't understand is he's good. So, no, he didn't get in because he's related to Enzamam. He got in because he's good, and he's proved that time and time again. So it's a big loss for Pakistan, even though some Pakistanis don't realize that yet. But they will soon, now that he won't play for us. But let's look at the bright side, though. Sohail Khan once again bowled really well. Naseem Shah, like I said, he's been bowling well, so that's the two positives we can take from there. And another positive we can take is, although it is Imam, he's an opener, so there's no real competition between him and Haider Ali, but it just makes me think that Haider Ali now has a better chance at playing in one of the test games, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing him in action. I want him to do well, and I want him to become a regular part of Pakistan, but only if he does well. Obviously, if he's not doing well, then why would I want him in the team? But yeah, that's pretty much all the news. IPL, yeah, they confirmed it. Last time it was just a rumor. Now it's confirmed. The IPL will take place, and it will be taking place in UAE. Now they are working on... I haven't heard anything about this, though. Will there be any overseas players? I've not heard anything about this. Last time I heard it, they said that there will not be any overseas players. If that's the case, I think IPL will lose a lot of viewers from around the world. Because why would someone from Australia watch the IPL if there's no one from Australia playing in it? Why would someone from England want to watch it? And so on, and, West Indies and so on. So that's going to be interesting. I hope they get... I mean, if there are international tours taking place, Pakistan is going to England, and West Indies already there. There's going to be other series taking places as well. So if there's no... I don't see why people are traveling. It's fine. So I don't understand why the IPL won't allow overseas players. But like I said, nothing's final yet. The only thing that's finalized is it will take place in UAE. That's the only thing we know so far. Like I mentioned in the last one, last week, the T20 World Cup will not be taking place this year. Like I said, I've already shared my opinion in the last video. You can go ahead and check that out if you want to know. But yeah, congratulations to all the English fans. I gave you a lot of abuse after the first game, but your team has proven that that was just a minor lapse in concentration, and now they're back to their winning ways. It's very good to see. I'm hoping that Pakistan will be good enough and give us a competitive test series against England in the coming months. But yeah, thank you for watching. This is pretty much everything that took place in the world of cricket this week. Like I said, there's not much because the corona, pretty much everything's shut down. Thank you for watching. I hope I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, have a nice